And boom, we're live. How's everybody doing this evening? I got about an hour that I can be doing this. The family, we're gonna go see the movie Top Gun tonight. I've seen it already, but my family hasn't. So we're gonna go see that tonight and pin message to the top. So I did pin the StreamYard link to in the chat here. So if you want to join the live show, feel free and we can kind of talk. Just chilling today. We had the daughter's graduation ceremony earlier this afternoon. She's out with a bunch of friends. So they have like a senior party tonight that goes to like 4 a.m. or something like that. So she's out doing that. And me and the wife and the youngest daughter, we're going to go see Top Gun. So, Insult Investors in the house. What's going on, man? Kelly's in the house evening. Sean's in the house. Shannon Thomas Trucking's in the house. Hey, how's it going, Shannon? How are you? But yeah, we're just chilling right now. I thought I'd go live for a little bit. If you haven't yet, I dropped a video today kind of explaining my month of May. I shared some numbers, some profit and loss numbers, stuff I really don't do. I don't really share a lot of numbers on YouTube. I don't know why. I think part of it's just to protect myself, you know what I mean? And some months might be really good, and I don't want people thinking I'm like bullshitting them. And some months are really bad, and I happen to share a really bad month. Trucking Up's in the house. What's going on, man? But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I dropped the link. We can kind of bullshit for a little bit before I got to get on the road to the movie theater, go see Top Gun. Like I said before, I've already seen it. I saw it last week, but my wife wants to see it, and so does my youngest daughter. So I thought, hey, why don't we do that tonight since the oldest is out of the house doing her thing? That is it's so surreal having my oldest daughter. I mean, she's 18, graduated high school now. It's just surreal that time's gone by so fast. I'm shocked. I did watch a hockey game. I haven't done any hockey lives since I've been at home, but there was a hockey game today, which was the New York Rangers and Tampa Bay Lightning. I watched that game. For all you that cared, Tampa Bay won. So now the series is 2-1 in favor of New York. So, yeah. There's a new Top Gun movie. Yeah, you're not aware of that, Shannon? Yeah, there's a new Top. It's great. I liked the first Top Gun. I would say this one's even better. But yeah, there's a new Top Gun movie. I suggest going out and seeing it. It's a really good movie. Wow, your youngest, Shannon says, tell me about it. My youngest is getting married in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's crazy, Shannon. Time just flies by. It was, I'm not going to lie, I was a little emotional today. Being with family and friends and then seeing your daughter up there, and it was like, because she's still my little girl, you know what I mean? Like, she was my firstborn child. When I say she means the world to me, obviously my kids mean everything to me. So does my wife. But like, she was my firstborn. And then I look at my youngest, and my youngest is still my baby, even though she's going to be 15 years old or 15. Yeah, she's going to be 15 in July. She's still like my baby. You know what I mean? And I look at my oldest daughter as she's kind of spreading her wings, and, she leaves for college in the fall. And it's just like, man, time's just flown by, which means I'm getting older, which is crazy too. Oser's in the house. Grade 8 transfer. I'd like to see Top Gun 2 the next time I'm home. Oser, go see it. It's a great movie. Grade 8 Transportation's in the house. Good evening. TBT USA is in the house. Good evening. I caught a lot of you this afternoon on Cash is Kings Live. I turned that on after we did like the pictures and stuff like that. At the graduation, I saw a lot of you in his chat, said hi to you guys. But yeah, I don't know. Just thought I'd go live real quick. If you've watched my video today, if you had any questions on it, I'd be willing to answer some questions. This is the time to take advantage of it. If you're new to trucking, obviously, Shannon, Grade 8, a lot of you have as much experience as being an owner operator like I do, or you have years of experience that I'm shooting for that. You know what I mean? I've been an owner operator for 18 months. I've had some very, very successful months, and I've had some months that downright are just terrible where I've lost thousands of dollars. But that's the ups and downs of operating a business. I would be interested, that if you've experienced some bad months, like I said, I can't be live for long tonight, but I would like maybe come into the chat here or come into the stream. How do you pay yourself when you have those really bad months? I know how I pay myself, but I would be curious to see maybe there's a different way that I'm, not familiar with, because like I shared today in my video, just off of 3 things, I'll do a quick recap if you haven't seen the video yet. I posted my numbers for the month of May. Now, if you remember, I only worked like 15, 16 days in the month of May. I only drove 3,700 miles. My truck generated over $12,000 in gross profit. Now I get 80% of that. So that left me with $10,198. 3 bills. I had a $10,827.64 maintenance bill. My plates were $500. My fuel was $1,800. So just those 3 things in my profit and loss statement put me in the red, $2,894.85. Now, my full profit and loss, I mean, I have so many other expenses that come out of those 3. My insurance, my business pays my health insurance. So I have health insurance. There's a lot of other expenses I have, tolls and things like that. Although I don't think I paid a toll in the month of May. That's not true. I did pay a toll. I paid it twice because the road was closed and I had to cross a bridge from, I believe it was Maryland, maybe Pennsylvania, into New Jersey, and the road was closed and I didn't know it. So I had to cross it twice. So I paid the toll twice, and I didn't even need to pay it. That was the bummer of it. I just got lost, to be honest. The road was closed and I didn't know where to go. So I got lost, and I knew because of the area I was in that, hey, I could just cross over into New Jersey and then come back and maybe find a different route, which is what I had to do. But that goes into trip planning too. Kind of know, I shouldn't say you should know if a road is closed all the time, because when I got into the city, I was Philadelphia. So when I got into the city of Philadelphia, they had closed the exit that I needed for the day. And I didn't know that at the time. Well, I didn't know where to go, and I didn't want to get lost in the actual city because it was a city exit that brought me into downtown Philly, like the north part of Philly. I didn't want to get lost, and the only way I knew not to get lost was to cross over into Jersey and then come back. Because kind of like a lot of other states, Philadelphia, once you get off the main roads, they have low bridges, tight roads. I didn't want to get stuck somewhere. So I decided to pay the toll twice. But yeah, we're just chilling tonight. We're in the backyard. The wife has done an amazing job in our backyard. When we bought this house, the yard, so we bought a house that was basically flipped. So the inside of the house was all redone, and it was redone beautifully. The lacking part of what this contractor didn't work on the yard at all, the landscaping and crap like that. So my wife has put a lot of time and effort into getting our yard to look the way it does, and she's done a fantastic job. Especially for I live in a suburb of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and the development that I live in is a little bit older of a development, like 1980s. So like our backyard is actually huge for a city lot. How much was the bill for the clutch debacle? Total expense for that part of the bill was $10,827.64. That did not include, Zena, be quiet. Actually, that wasn't my dog. That was the neighbor's dog. That doesn't include, I had other expenses that were worked into like some body work I needed done and some other things, but the clutch repair, well, the rear main seal is all it was supposed to be. So, it went from about a $3,000 job all the way up to $10,827.64. So it definitely hurt the pocketbook, and that's not the first. Like I still consider that a lot of money, right? Like I think anytime we start talking tens of thousands of dollars, that's still a lot of money to me. And I've had multiple incidents where I've had to come up with $10,000-$11,000 like that to get my truck out of a shop. The benefit though, my truck's running great. I would still be on the road right now. I also had a death in the family, not like it's somebody I care about and somebody that was instrumental when I was younger. I haven't seen this person in quite a while. Last time I saw him, actually, we all went fishing, but I have a funeral to attend on Tuesday, and I had the graduation, so I decided to come home, and my dog's rolling around in the grass. Come home and hang out. Otherwise, I'd still be on the road, but the truck's running great. Yeah, TBT USA, cha-ching. When the rear main seal goes bad, 90% of the time the clutch. Okay, yeah, insult, and that's what I had the clutch done too. I had the clutch replaced. For all you that don't know, my truck is a Mack CXU 613 with an M drive transmission, but it also is a automated manual transmission. It's an automatic. Let's call it an automatic. It's really not though, because I have what's called a clutch actuator in it. So it's a computer module that tells the truck when to downshift, when to upshift, the torque displacement that it creates. It's this little module. And when I decided to get a new clutch, I decided to replace that too. So this rear main seal job, everything that you decide to do with a rear main seal, get your clutch done, check the flywheel. I've shared that they broke my bell housing. Which I didn't pay for the part or the labor on that, but I think I did, if that makes sense. What I mean by that is there's some charges that I was charged that really pissed me off. And matter of fact, I have another meeting scheduled with that shop tomorrow. We have a meeting scheduled because I'm still not happy with the amount of money I had to pay. And he told me to come back in and we'll hopefully resolve some issues, because there's still some issues with the truck. Not mechanically, it's actually all cosmetic. But supposedly this guy is going to take care of the stuff for me. Yep. Insult says oil on the disc is bad. I agree. Happy backyard times. Yeah, Sterling. I shared just a minute ago, if you just jumped in, my wife has done an amazing job at like the landscaping, and she just laid like 10, 11 more bags of what do you call that, wood chips today, because I went and took a nap. I'll be honest, I was tired and went and took a nap for an hour and come back outside, and she's got all the bags emptied and spread out. But yeah, why you have to pay so much more when it was their mess up? That's a great question. I think I kind of answered that. I didn't really pay for their mistakes. I think I paid for them kind of in some hidden fees. I'll share one with you. I got charged $200 for a test drive. When they were able to get everything back together and the transmission back together, here's the screwed up part though. I paid $200 for a test drive, took the truck, drove it 40 miles down the road. In that 40 miles, I counted the clutch slipping 12 times. The clutch actuator module, or the computer that's in the truck, said it slipped 127 times. So I had to turn around and drive it back to the shop and have them reprogram the clutch actuator. But they had charged me $200 for a test drive after they put everything back together. That's kind of the discrepancies that I'm talking with the owner of the shop again tomorrow on. Like, you charged me $200 for this, supposedly, and I drove it 40 miles and couldn't put a load on my truck. I need to be reimbursed that $200. And the other thing, man, sometimes you got to pay what a shop wants you to pay to get your truck back. Plain and simple. Fight about it after you get your equipment in hand. Don't fight it when they have possession of your equipment. If you read at the bottom of any invoice you get, you're basically, it's a contract. You know what I mean? So argue payment stuff after you've taken possession of your equipment back. Try and talk to them civilly when they're working on it and have updates. But the minute things seem fishy and they don't seem like they want to work with you, get your equipment back and fight it after you have your equipment. Sterling says, stop for the night near Boise somewhere. I ran down from along 12 and I-95. Beast of a route, but scenic. Yeah, I've shared, I think, before, Sterling. I don't really travel west of I-35. The lanes I run typically I stay to the east of I-35. Now, I have looked into loads going into Washington and stuff like that lately because they seem to be paying pretty well, but getting out of there is what concerns me. So I haven't done that. That's a load of crap. Insult, I fully agree with you, man. Insult says that's a load of crap. LOL, that sucks. Yeah, man, everything you're saying is 100% accurate. The only thing I'm going to recommend is if you have somebody else working on your truck, try and learn how to work on your own equipment. That's stuff I'm doing right now. But if you can't work on your own equipment, don't allow somebody to hold your equipment hostage. The easiest way they can hold your equipment hostage is by you refusing to pay them. And what sucks is they kind of have the right to hold your equipment due to payment issues. It says it right in on the bottom. I'm not going to show it because it'll show the name of the shop and stuff, and I'm not ready to call the shop out. But anyways, just anytime somebody else has your equipment, try and be respectful to them when they have your equipment, and then fight stuff afterwards. Like I said, the owner's meeting with me again tomorrow. The reason he's meeting with me is I've conducted myself professionally. I have expressed concerns on my bill and said, listen, if I was charged this, why did I have to figure it out? My hood almost fell off, guys. I had my hood, for all you that don't know, I was involved in a hit and run. And I had body work done to my truck at this shop. I opened my hood to check the oil and my hood almost fell off. They didn't even reattach my hood properly. Yet I paid money for them to do that. So that's the issues I'm having. And those are the issues that hopefully tomorrow I can get taken care of. B-Rad. I don't think I recognize that name. If it's your first time in here, welcome. Says, I was in an accident in February and didn't get back on the road until the beginning of May. Fortunately, last year was good, and I was able to pay myself $1,000 a week. That's awesome, B-Rad. And that's what I hope more of us took advantage of what we did a year and a half ago, because I'm in the same boat as you, man. That's how I paid myself. I have personal savings, I have business savings, and then I have my business account, right? That money flows in and out of on a daily basis. So I was still able to pay myself when I don't really work. And I save for vacations and things like that, because as an owner operator, you don't get vacation pay. You know what I mean? You don't get sick pay. That's all on you. Shannon Thomas says, hit the like button. Yeah, thank you, Shannon. I don't say that enough. Give me a thumbs up. There's 12, 13 people in here. This is just, if this is your first time to this channel, this is a small channel, but I like to have fun on it. You'll see me do live streams while I'm watching hockey. That's because I love hockey and it's the NHL playoffs right now. You might get a little bit of trucking in here. I don't have all the answers. I think I've shared on a lot of my YouTube lives and even on other people's YouTube lives when I go on them. You know, I have two mentors in this game. Well, more than two, but two that are actively in trucking. One of them's DIY Semi, the other is Cash is King. Those two guys have kind of like laid out a plan and laid out, you know, it's kind of like me following the yellow brick road with directions. Those guys are great guys. I lean on them a lot, and they kind of convinced me to start a YouTube channel, to share my growing pains as an owner operator. And like I said, I could sit here and tell you guys that every month is fantastic. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars, but that's kind of a lie. Like, I don't want to mislead people at all. It's a drama-free channel. I'm not the smartest human being in the world. So like, I don't really stay up on politics and things like that. So this is a pretty chill community that I've kind of tried building with people. You know, I got people like Nomadic Brit, Insult Investor, Sterling. They're grade 8 transportation, cattle hauling. There's a lot of good people that come into my chats, honestly, that we can all learn from and build off of. And I'm a big believer in taking advice from people, even if I don't know them. And especially if it's, you know, it's still a learning process for me. I've been in this industry 22 years. Trucking is all I know. I have had multiple positions in the trucking industry. I've been a dispatcher. I've even ran warehouses before. And like I said, I've been in the driver's seat for a very long time. I thought I knew it all. And, you know, it's kind of a rude awakening when you realize you don't know it all. And you kind of realize some of the handicaps that you're facing is because you were a company driver for so long. And I'm not knocking company drivers. Absolutely not. The problem when I transitioned to an owner operator is a lot of times I never could touch my truck. I couldn't work on any of the equipment when I was a company driver. There was one company I worked for that wouldn't even allow us to put antifreeze and oil in the truck. So if you checked your dipstick in the morning and you needed to add a gallon of oil, they didn't allow you to do it. You had to have one of the fleet mechanics do it for you. And I think that can be a disservice to new truck drivers that might have the ambition of becoming an owner operator someday. I think I've also shared that it took me 4 or 5 years to become an owner operator. I saved my money, I researched stuff, I planned things, and then I executed that plan. And I did not do this to become, you know, like for money. I did it because I wanted the freedom, plain and simple. I wanted freedom. I wanted the ability to go home when I wanted to go home. I wanted the ability to say, no, I don't want to go there. That's why I did it. Now, I chose to do it in a time that I didn't realize freight, that I could literally throw a pebble and get $10 a mile, $8 a mile. I happened to just fall in at the right time. But I was smart enough to know that it wasn't going to last forever. And I positioned myself through the tutelage of like DIY Semi and Cash is King to build a solid foundation and be ready for the ups and downs, because they happen and they're painful. What about a wrench for the young lady in the house? Oh yeah. You know what? Thanks for saying something. I forget to do this when I have my phone. Add moderator. There we go. I can't do it when I'm on StreamYard. But yeah, thanks, Nomadic Brit. I just gave Shannon. So somebody else is in here that doesn't have a wrench. Oh, how does TBT USA not have one? Here, I'll go through this real quick. B-Rad, welcome. Like I said, if you've been in my live streams before, I apologize. I don't recognize the name, but now you have a wrench. Michael Page, wrench. Yeah, I need to do this more. Oser, wrench. For all you that don't know, I actually ran into Oser. Kind of a funny story. That was probably 2 weeks ago now. Middle of the night. It was early. It was like 1:30, 2:30 in the morning. I'm trucking across Pennsylvania, I think. Or no, it was Ohio. I was trucking across Ohio into Pennsylvania, upstate New York, and I end up stopping to get fuel, and park for the night, and I get out of the truck and I'm looking at this Kenworth, and I was like, man, that Kenworth looks like James Best's Kenworth. You know what I mean? James Best, obviously we all know who he is. Always talks about his Kenworth, and I'm looking at this truck and I'm like, I think that's James Best's truck. So I go walking inside, come back out, and this guy's walking out, and I ask him, I said, hey, is that your Kenworth? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, are you Oser? And he's like, I am. And I'm like, hey, I'm Fate Trucking. I said, I don't know you personally, but the guy you work with, I watch him on YouTube. So him and I talked for a while. It was kind of fun to meet him. Man, I get so far behind on this. I'm sorry, guys. Hot Seas says the Three Musketeers of YouTube. Yeah, well, they really like to rip on me, and I take it. And the reality is I take it because A, I'm super naive, and B, like, I don't have that. My daughters make fun of me. I'm trying to think of the word. Like, I'm not witty. You know what I mean? So when they start making fun of me, I don't have a lot of comebacks that I can give to those two guys. I just don't. Sterling says, sorry, Shannon, I missed you. Me too. Okay. Nomadic Brit must be saying something. Sterling says, all it takes is one driver to mix up fluids and all sorts of mechanical chaos can happen. I became an owner operator to separate myself. Yeah, man, that's actually a great comment, Sterling. The very end of it says, I became an owner operator to separate myself from the normies. That is such, that's probably the part of the reason why I did it too. Yeah, and especially when I was a company driver, I looked at what I was doing as a company driver, especially the last job I had before I became an owner operator. I should throw this out there too. I haven't had many driving jobs. I've worked for 4 companies. I'm 42 years old. I started working when I was 18. So I have longevity with companies. Some of the other positions I've held within trucking have been like promotions, or what at the time I viewed were promotions within the same companies. Like, I viewed becoming a dispatcher a promotion when I became a dispatcher for a company. It was harder than driving. It was harder than doing the work that I had been doing for 13 years. So I did that for about 2 years and got back into the truck. But yeah, that's a great comment there, Sterling. Nomadic Brit says, any new people here? No drama. This is a channel, just good chat. Hold on one sec. Hey, Z, come. Zena, come. My neighbors have dogs behind us, and my dog really never barks, but she like intimidates the other dogs. You stay here. Sit. Good girl. Yeah, there's no drama on this channel, Nomadic Brit. Oh, speak of the devil, cattle hauling, stopping in, saying hi to everybody. How's it going? Nomadic Brit says, who's James Best? Yeah, right. We don't need, like, obviously I watch James Best. I don't always agree with the man, but I watch him. And that's the great thing about YouTube. And that's why I don't understand why there's so many drama channels. If you don't like somebody, just don't watch them. Like, pretty simple. You know what I mean? Shannon saying hello. Yes, you are tough through all the ball busting. I try to be, Shannon. They're great. I love those two guys. But that's a great example. I've shared how much I really respect DIY and Cash is King, right? Now, they give me advice. Do I always take their advice? No. Sometimes I'm stubborn and need to learn the hard way, and then look back and think, man, I wish I would have taken their advice. Or sometimes their advice doesn't really pertain to how I want to operate my business. And I think that's a great example of how you can have mentors that help you along the way, but it doesn't mean like you have to be a sheep and follow everything they say and do. Take some of your bumps, take some of your losses. Understand that your losses, though, are like sometimes a hard pill to swallow. I've had a couple of losses that, you know, I had to swallow my ego. You know what I mean? But then you also get to meet other people on YouTube. I mean, Cattle Holland, for all you that don't know, I was broke down in Virginia back in, I believe it was February, and Cattle Hauling and his wife came out to the hotel I was at and hung out with me for the weekend. So like you can meet really. Time to go?
Not yet, but we have a little bit.
Okay, can you give me like a 10-minute warning?
How much longer?
Sorry, guys.
It's 6:37 right now.
Okay, I'll watch the clock. I got it here. All right, thanks, kiddo. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, no, like this is a pretty good community, you know what I mean? Anyways, Nomadic Brit saying hi. I miss contact. Yeah, Cattle Holland. I mean, I don't know what Cattle Holland shared on YouTube, but yeah, I miss Cattle Hauling's videos too. We have enough sheep. TBT USA, we do. How was your daughter's graduation? Cattle hauling, it was absolutely phenomenal. And part of the reason why I was a little bit like emotional is she did it the right way. She worked very hard in school. She is going to be going to college with having college credits already, way ahead of other freshmen coming in. She got a great GPA. She worked her butt off. She did it better than I did. I didn't do it. I think I shared, I played hockey when I was in high school and then a little bit after high school. So I didn't walk with my graduating class. I did work on the side to graduate. I technically graduated on a bus. You know, it wasn't a GED, but it might as well have been a GED because that's all I was doing. I was traveling, playing hockey, and doing work that they told me to do. You know, so I'm really proud of my daughter for doing high school the right way and working hard because she actually reaped the rewards of that. She basically has almost a full ride to the university that she chose to go to. She's got good direction, and you know what? To have a young kid buckle down and do what they're supposed to do, especially in this day and age with the TikToks and the YouTubes, it's tough. It really is. Parenting is not easy right now, and she did it the right way. I'm very proud of her. Very proud of her. Barry, my advice is free. I wouldn't take it though. Yeah, Barry, you leave some great comments, man. You left a comment earlier today on the video I posted about who am I, and congratulations to my daughter. So thank you. That's the thing about this channel, guys and girls. When I say guys, you know, Shannon, I know you're the only female in here right now. Like, I don't mean it sexist at all. It's just, hey guys. But that's what's great about this channel. The community is small. Let's be honest. I'm not a big YouTuber. I don't have flashy things, but like the people that are part of this channel, like the comments you all leave are absolutely great. Oh, okay, Shannon. My mentors are all of you. My biggest teachers are Jeff Like. Yep. See, I don't know much about Jeff Like. I stumbled across Snorlord due to Nomadic Brit and the guy I'm leased onto, DIY Semi. So I know Jeff Like through Snorlord. I haven't really watched much of his stuff yet. Assy McGee's in the house. What's going on, man? How are you? I'll get back to you, by the way. Hope your truck's up and running. I just have one person that I'm aware of that doesn't get sorry, Nomadic Brit left. I just have one person that I'm aware of that doesn't get on with me on YouTube. And apart from last night's, okay, yeah, see, I really don't know what happened last night. I started watching it and then it got where I couldn't watch it, if you know where I'm going with that. But yeah, no, there's no drama in this channel. And actually, I do got to wrap this up. Maybe I can come back later. I think we might do a bonfire or something. But I just want to get on here real quick and actually like thank all of you. You guys have helped me You know what I mean? Like I really enjoy YouTube. I know I'm a small channel. I would like to get bigger someday, but I appreciate like this community. You know what I mean? I feel like I have an awesome community that I can interact with you people. And I want you to know, like, I appreciate that, because there's times in my truck when the wife's sleeping or the kids are doing something and I'm not talking to them. I can come to YouTube and like have good conversations with you guys. And I really, really appreciate that. But anyways, I'm going to get off here. Hit the thumbs up for me. Subscribe to the channel if it's your first time here. Next video, or next time I go live, maybe I will share some numbers about how bad the month of May actually was for me. I shared a little bit earlier today. Just a quick recap. For the month of May, just on 3 expenses, I am negative $2,894.85. And that's without a lot of other expenses. So anyways, Shannon, hey, thanks for stopping in here tonight. All you normal people that are in here, thank you for stopping in. Till next time, you know what it is. Keep on trucking.